Today I'm going to start module 1. In module 1 we are going to see the introduction about system software and what are the differences between system software and application software and two architectures, SIC architecture and SIC XC architecture. After that we are going to see one of the system software assembler in detail, basic functions of assembler, data structures and algorithms used by assembler, machine dependent features of assembler, independent features of assembler, and then some of the implementation examples. Then next we are going to see another data structure, macro processor, its functions and data structures. So first we will see what is meant by system software and what are the differences between system software and application software now. System software is a set of programs to perform a variety of system functions as file editing, resource management, input-output management and storage management. I think all you people know we are using without system software we can't use our system itself, that is operating system. So that is one of the system software. So with the help of system software only the system can perform the different types of operations. System programs are intended to support the operation and use of computer itself rather than any particular application. For this reason, they are usually related to the architecture of the machine on which they are run. For example, operating system, utility programs, compilers, assemblers, etc. Then application program is primarily concerned with the solution of some problem using computer as a tool. We are writing some program, payroll program using C language, and some table we are creating with Excel, and PowerPoint we are making some slides for some application, and Word, etc. These are the example for application program. So we know the system software which helps the system to run the program, and application software is used to solve a problem using computer as a tool. This is the difference between system software and application software. Before seeing system software and application software, suppose we are taking any program we want to execute in a system. First what we need a text editor to type the program. After typing that program, for example, we want to execute one C program. What is the first step? First we have to type that program. We need text editor. After that we have to save that program. Then for converting into high level language to machine language, we need another system software, compiler. If it is assembler programming, we need a system software assembler to convert high level language to machine language. And if you can use interpreter also for line by line interpretation. After compilation, next it will be execution. So that for execution, first the program will be linked with the library files and it will be loaded into memory for execution. So for that we need two data structures, linker and loader. And then it will be, if any error is there, that will be debugged through the debugger. And before that, not to boot the system itself, we need operating system. So these are all the system software that supports us to run this program in the system. Operating system, compiler or assembler, interpreter, loader, linker, debugger, etc. And macro processor. Suppose any macros are there, that will be expanded with the help of macro processor. So now we are going to see what is the difference between system software and application software. So major difference we know, system software is a set of program that helps to run computer system. Then application software is, it is used by user to solve the problem using computer as a tool. It's a system software, we know it is machine oriented software. Application software, no, it is not machine oriented. System software is machine dependent. Application software is machine independent. If we write any program, Word, any Excel file or any payroll program we are writing, that program we can run in any machine. So it is a machine independent. It's a system software directly interacts with the hardware. We'll take operating system or compiler, it will interact with the hardware, but not like application software. Not interacting with hardware. It needs the help of, with the help of hardware it is executing. The development of software is system software is a complex task. Suppose we want to write a compiler program for one software, means first we should understand the software completely and system architecture, then only we can write. It's a tedious task. Then but writing a application software is very easy. Suppose we want to solve any problem, then we can write a program in any language, so it is easy. And then example for system software is operating system, utility programs, then compiler, assembler, etc. And application software example is Excel, Word, PowerPoint and any application program written in that. So here we are going to explain, in this module we are going to see SIC and SIC XC architecture. With the help of that, we are going to explain all the concepts. Because in order to understand the system software, first we should know the architecture of the system, internal structure of the system, what is the memory capacity, memory of the system, then registers, what are the addressing modes used, instruction sets used, and then instruction formats, and then various input output operations used, etc. That we have explained with the help of the two standard architectures: simplified instructional computer with standard version and simplified instruction computer with extended version. So why that is called as extended version means it will be having some advanced features. That means it will be having some additional instructions or additional registers or additional memory capacity, etc. That's the reason it is called as SIC XE is called as extra equipment or extra expensive. So in the further class we are going to see the SIC architecture and SIC XE architecture. After that we are going to explain about the assembler, one of the system software. We know that assembler will convert high level language, that is assembly level language, into machine language. And then in that we are going to see what are the data structures used by the assembler, how it is going to perform, and some of the implementation examples, and so on. After that we are going to see the macro processor. Macro processor is another data structure which is used to expand the macros. Okay, so in the second module we are going to see the another two data structures, loaders and linkers. With the help of loaders and linkers only the program will be executed. It will be loaded into memory and it will be linked with other files, and it will be modules, and it will be executed. Then the third module, where from third module onwards, third module, fourth module, fifth module onwards, completely the compiler data structure will be explained, because it is a very important one. Nowadays we are using all high level languages, so you should know more about compilers. That's the reason they kept compiler as a 3 modules. Third module, fourth module, and fifth module is completely covers compilers. Okay, so please go through the definition of system software and application software. What are the major differences between system software and application software, how it works. It's a very important one. The next class we are going to see SIC architecture. Thank you.